Hi guys, just a quick hello before the video starts, and yeah, all I've got to say is I hope you enjoy this last part of the ranking, and yeah, please subscribe, because this is the final part of the ranking, and I can finally rest in peace now. So yeah, hope you enjoy the last 150 towers, and yeah, just want to get straight into it. Kicking off this video with Tower of Infinity Gauntlet. Now, this one, I mean, it's another one of those towers that kind of just didn't need the revamp. I mean, Thanos Tower didn't need it, but, you know, I'm glad with what we got. This is a really good tower. I think the client objects are really well done. They've significantly improved everything. The quality of life updates are much better in this tower. Feels a lot more fair. It's very fun to play through. And honestly, some of the gameplay is crafted really well for what it is. I mean, this tower's gameplay, in terms of like just being overall like playable and enjoyable, like yeah, it's on top. So this tower's a really good one. Doesn't really get A tier in my opinion, because it can be a little complicated, but other than that, great tower. Welcome to the A tier. You might be a little confused at this tower being here, but honestly, I like this tower. It's a really good tower. It's got some pretty good mechanics in it. It's got some good challenges. I really like that timer with the floor that's going to disappear after 320 seconds or whatever. I think it might be 320, I don't know. You know, the timer, it's a safety net. But yeah, this tower's got a lot of unique challenges. Like, considering how old it is, it's got quite a lot of good stuff in it. And yeah, they experiment quite a lot with the client objects. It's a fun tower. It might be a bit frustrating at some points, but it's a really good experience if you know what you're doing. It's a great tower. I love it. Okay, so this tower, this is one that often flies under the radar when it comes to Ring 9, and I don't really see why, because I actually quite like this tower. It's probably one of the stronger ones in this ring, to be honest. And yeah, it's got quite a lot of good gameplay, and I really like the theme of it. It's kind of like this dead, like, out-of-the-way mountain kind of thing. It's got a bit of a Wild Western sort of theme to it. It's a weird, like, theme for Ring 9, but then it kind of works as well, because like, it just fits with the environment. And also, the gameplay's really good, the mechanics they use are good. It's a little harder than most Intenses, but I still think it's a really good tower. It plays really well, it's really fun. And yeah, I really enjoy this one. I think it's one that a lot of people kind of ignore because it's the easiest in the ring and people are doing the SCs. But if you actually take the time to look at this one, it's pretty fun. Tower of Brief Challenges. Now, to be honest, this one is a really good tower. I mean, the gameplay flows well, it's got some really unique and cool jumps, and it kind of reminds me a bit of a Tower of Questionable Trials in a way, which is another tower that I really enjoy. It's just a good tower. I mean, it's got like a ominous looking gradient, it's got a lot of good design, it's got gameplay that plays well, it's fun to play, and it feels fair as well. It's just one of those towers that's really solid, and I feel like people forget about it a lot, when actually it's probably one of the more enjoyable experiences of Zone 6 in my opinion. Wildly Wacky Wonders is an incredibly creative tower. I mean, yeah, I did die on the insta-kill. That is embarrassing, and yeah, I expected it from me though. But anyway, yeah, it's a great tower, it's got some really good gameplay. I really like how it experiments with like the buttons and everything. I like how it uses some really creative mechanics like that. And while it can be a little bit punishing, a bit too punishing at some points, I do think that this is done quite well, and the tower itself is still a really good experience. So yeah, I mean, A tier worthy for me. I did initially think this tower was going to be awful, so when I found out it was actually pretty good, I was very pleased. I mean, this tower, it's got all sorts. I mean, it's Descention themed, so, you know, I thought it was going to be a bit boring, but it actually isn't. It's got some really good gameplay, some really good themes. I love the whole boost to the top thing for the wind pad, which is fake. It's pretty comedic. And yeah, it's a really good tower. I really enjoy it. This one has some pretty good flowing gameplay as well. Another steeple that I just don't feel gets enough love. Steeple of bad cable management is actually, in my opinion, a really good one. I mean, the whole facility theme, the whole water, weird electrified water thing is pretty cool as well. It's a steeple that's really well designed as well. The gameplay is just done really well, and I like how the steeple pays a lot of attention to detail. It's nice that you get steeples that do that, but yet are still sight readable, and this one has some really sight readable gameplay as well. It's a really good steeple, and I think that it deserves a lot more praise for what it is, because I know it's somewhat like wedged in the middle of all the Steel Spy Horizon stuff, but at the end of the day, this one's a kind of an underrated gem. Not even a flower. Now this one is a tricky one because it's not my personal favourite neat, and yeah, that showed in my video about the neats. But you have to admit, like, even if I don't personally think this is the best neat, it's you have to admit how much effort went into this one. I mean, it's absolutely breathtaking how well made it is. Like, the amount of different gameplay styles, the amount of different design choices they put into this one, it's crazy. I mean, it may be a little too complex for a neat, which is mainly the reason why I put it down here and not in S tier. But I just think that you know this is a really well made mini tower, and you know, for something that's supposed to be like, you know, so small, they've done so much with it. So yeah, I have to appreciate what they've done to this one. Honestly, Bloodthirsty Kinos is a really good SC. I mean, it's just so ominous with all the colours and everything. The gameplay's good as well, it's structured really well, and I think it really fits Ring 9, which is kind of a double-edged sword in that regard, because, I mean, it kind of flies under the radar in terms of Ring 9. Like, if this was in, like, Ring 8 or something, or Ring 7, it would probably be, like, one of the most famous towers, but it, you know, because Ring 9's got a lot of towers with the same kind of theme, it doesn't really stand out. But I do think this tower has really, really, really good design, really good gameplay, and yeah, it's just a really fun experience, and yeah, I have to admit, it's pretty good. Tower of Nothing New is honestly an incredible experience. I mean, yeah, it's pretty long, but it's genuinely worth it. I mean, the amount of different types of gameplay and mechanics they experiment with here, it's really well done. And yeah, while it is some stuff that, you know, obviously can be a little unsight readable, it's done so well that you honestly just have to admire it. I mean, this tower had so much effort clearly put into it, and yeah, it's just a really enjoyable experience. If you know what you're doing though, you do need to kind of practice it a little bit before going into it. But other than that, it's a really good tower, and I think it's made exceptionally well. This Citadel has some really good gameplay, and honestly some of the best that I've seen from Zone 7. The only problem is it's a little bit loop faily, and yeah, that does sort of do a few things that are against its favour, but it doesn't really ruin the experience for me. And I still think this one's really good and entertaining throughout the entire thing. It's also got some really good design, and the soundtrack is also amazing. It's a really good Citadel, and it's kind of underrated in my opinion. And yeah, I just think it's a really good experience, and it was very well made. Honestly, I am just amazed at how far EToH has come. We went from things like Tower of Heck to literally escaping the Matrix. I mean, this tower, honestly, is one of the coolest themes I've ever seen. The story is a little bit all over the place, but at the end of the day, it's still pretty easy to understand. So is the gameplay as well. The gameplay is really well done, it's really well thought out, and it's also fun to play through. It's not got any problems with being unsight readable, and the tower it makes up for its length because it's engaging throughout. So yeah, it's a really good tower in my opinion. Some people don't like it, which is weird because I thought this was probably one of the leading ones in Starlet archives. It may not be the most memorable in the sub-realm, but honestly I love the steeple for what it is. I mean, this is a really cool steeple. I like the whole construction site theme to it. It's kind of a design that the whole, you know, game hasn't really focused on that much, so it's kind of interesting to see something new. And also the gameplay is really well done. I like the little, design details and quirks this steeple has. There's a lot of funny moments here, and honestly it's a really good steeple in terms of just like good gameplay, good design, and yeah, overall just a really good experience. I initially thought that I wasn't going to like this tower because the first impression I got of it was that it was going to be really long and really modern and I wouldn't be able to figure it out. However, I was pleasantly surprised after I'd completed it. It's really good gameplay. I mean, the whole beat block aspect and like introducing beginners to the whole like beat block style jump, it's really cool, and the design's well done, and the gameplay is also structured really well and it's very well made. It's a tower that initially comes off as maybe a bit annoying, but once you get to know it a bit more, it's actually really good, and honestly it's really good for beginners, so I'll give this one a solid A tier, which is where it is. What's weird to think about is that this is the last visit to the Arcane Area that we will ever have in this video, which is honestly, I don't know. Does it say that Arcane Area is the worst in the game? Probably not, I don't really know. But yeah, besides the point, this tower, IT Adventures, is actually really well made. I love the cutscenes, I love the little dialogue, it's a pretty interesting little story going on here. The gameplay's really good, I like how they deal with the whole like mechanic, the whole gimmick. And yeah, it's just a really well made tower in my opinion. It doesn't disappoint, considering Arcane Area has a lot of disappointments, and the gameplay is really enjoyable, and that's all I can ask for. So yeah, it's a really good tower. I honestly love this mini tower. It's my favourite neat in the game, and because of the fact that it introduces beginners to a bunch of weird and complex mechanics like wall hops, truss flicks, dance glitching, lodging even. Like, this is stuff that they're going to need to know for SC difficulty towers, and the fact that this mini tower kind of holds your hand but also at the same time kind of doesn't is really good. It's a really well made neat. It's actually quite fun as well. They don't overdo it, which is good. And yeah, it's just a really well balanced and well optimized mini tower that tries to teach beginners more complex mechanics, which is really good. Honestly, this tower is probably one of the best ways to redo classic gameplay without being actually in the era yourself. I mean, this is just a solid tower, isn't it? Like, the gameplay plays really well, it incorporates a lot of different ideas, like, that big conveyor belt system on floor 4, and the transition between floors 6 to floors 8 or 7 or 8. It's just a really creative tower in what it does with, like, the most bare bones classic gameplay, and honestly that's one of the reasons why it's up here. It manages to turn not so interesting classic stuff to something that actually is interesting with all the unique ideas they do with it, and yeah, this tower's a really solid one in my opinion. One of the less talked about ones, I think. I don't really know what you can't love about fairly simple challenges. It's just, well, it's like the name says, they're fairly simple challenges. But yeah, they're really fun, they're really enjoyable. This tower itself is designed really well. It's just a chill and easy experience with some enjoyable gameplay, and yeah, I think it's about as simple as that really. I mean, sometimes you'll be doing stuff like just generic jumps, sometimes you'll be doing some more complex client object puzzles, but they're all pretty easy to figure out, and they're all pretty creatively done considering, how simple they are to decipher. This whole tower is just a really good example of how you can balance both classic and modern ideas together and still keep a Descention easy tower fun, which is what 6 Feet Under needs to take notes about, really. And yeah, it's just a really good tower. So yeah, A tier for me. Honestly, this tower has some pretty cool and enjoyable gameplay, and while the first couple floors may throw people off a little bit, and yeah, it can be a little learny, I still think this tower is really well done and the gameplay is structured really well. It's pretty good to grind if you're patient with it, and there's a lot of stuff here that can be a pretty good skill booster once you get used to it. In my opinion, this tower is really well done. It really fits Zone 5 as well, the entire theme of it, and yeah, it's a well-made tower in my opinion, and definitely one that you should go for potentially your first Terrifying. This tower, in my opinion, is a really good Remorseless tower. It's honestly a good skill booster too. I mean, it helps you out tremendously in terms of like more tricky wraparounds that might help you a lot for SC if you're going to beat this tower before SC. And also it helps you a lot with managing under pressure with a lot of timed sections as well, and outside sections too. This tower is a really good skill booster, and the gameplay is done really well. It's designed really well. I like the whole way the gameplay is structured. I think it's really well done. Yeah, this tower is pretty decent, and it deserves A tier in my opinion. Honestly, this tower is really good in my opinion. It kind of reminds me a bit of a Triple Jeopardy in terms of its kind of like strange gameplay in a way. Like it's sort of classic, but then at the end of the day, like the gameplay, the way it's designed isn't. Like the tower looks classic, but the gameplay isn't. And honestly, I quite like that. I mean, there's a lot of really interesting mechanics in this tower. It's done really well. It's nice and sight readable as well. It doesn't go over the top to try and like be really cool looking. And at the end of the day, it just has a really nicely flowing gameplay choice, and it is styled really well. So yeah, this tower is really well done in my opinion. Well, this one's just really well made in my opinion. I mean, honestly, in terms of Purgatorio, it's really interesting. It's actually really fun to play through, and they actually teach the whole aspect of spinning and moving stuff really well, which honestly I thought it was kind of a hit or miss with a theme and gimmick like this. Like you can either do it really well or do it really terribly, and luckily this one was done pretty well. It introduces outside sections, and it does not hold back. It will make you fall. It won't be a safety net like you'd expect from other easy towers. Like, and I kind of like that in a way, because they do their best to make sure that you're aware of like the stakes of outside sections. And yeah, this tower does a lot to not only boost the skill of beginners, but also be a fun experience as well. Tower of Deep Sighing. Now this one, it may be a little high in some people's opinion, but honestly I just really love how fun this is. I mean, for some reason, they really nailed this tower, and every other one in Ring 3 is just either mediocre or plain bad, besides Cohad, of course. And yeah, you know, this one does have a few shortcomings. Like, it isn't like the most memorable thing in the world, but I still do enjoy just like how much they do with classic gameplay and just how like optimized it is for the beginner. Like, you don't see many towers made in the early era of EToH, because this isn't when Ring 3 came out, it's like maybe a year after. But yeah, you don't see many towers in the early era of EToH actually go to the extra effort to be playable. So yeah, this one, it's a high ranked in my book. While it's sad that this tower didn't have that amazing song from SpongeBob, it is good that this one has some good gameplay. I mean, yeah, this is one of the best towers in Zone 7 in terms of just like being enjoyable. It's something that Zone 7 kind of suffers a bit with. Yeah, the mechanics are done really well. There's a lot of interesting client objects in this tower, but they keep it sight readable at the same time, so you don't have to worry about being confused. And yeah, everything's pretty clear, everything's done well, and the design is simplistic yet also pretty cool at the same time. So yeah, this tower's a pretty decent one in my opinion. Tower of Wanting More Time is a great example of just how well you can make an experience, even if it is incredibly long, just by putting in the stuff to engage the player. I mean, there is absolutely everything here that you can think of. The amount of ideas and creativity that goes into this tower is insane, honestly. Like, just the amount of stuff here is brilliant. Like, they literally experiment with a bunch of different mechanics, they experiment with a bunch of different, like, jump types. It's honestly a really fun time, and if you have the patience, because it can be a bit loot failure at a couple points, this tower can be an incredibly brilliant experience, and one that you'll remember for quite a while, actually. This is one of those towers that are more classically designed, but are just so damn enjoyable to play. I mean, yeah, some of the gameplay is a little bit learny, and it may take you a few tries and a bit of patience to get through it, but I do firmly believe that this tower is a really enjoyable one, and honestly, some of the gameplay that they create here is pretty well done, considering how old this is in terms of, you know, EToH's lifespan. That's actually weird to consider Zone 5 being old now. But anyway, yeah, this tower's done really well. I mean, the design's done good. I like how this tower gives off like a classic vibe, but also kind of experiments with a lot of more modern kind of mechanics and kind of client objects. And yeah, this one's just a really good experience, which is an incredibly fun one to grind out, especially when you're at the difficulty skill range. Good old TON. There may be a little bit of personal bias in this one, but honestly, I think you can honestly back this for A tier. I mean, this tower's gameplay is just really, really good, and it helps you a lot with trust flicks. Like, this tower significantly improves your skill with trust flicks, considering they make you use them quite a lot, and on some pretty punishing sections as well. And another thing I like about this tower is that it's tough, but it's fair. Like, there's some catch zones sprinkled throughout on like floors 4, 7, and whatever to, you know, give you a little bit of a sense of security, but then they throw you straight into some really, really sketchy gameplay at some other points. And yeah, it's just a really balanced tower in terms of punishment, but also leniency. And yeah, and I think this one's a really well made tower, which is quite underrated as a Remorseless to grind. I don't get the hate for this tower, I really don't. I think it's designed really well, and honestly I think it also plays pretty well. I don't know why people seem to hate this one, to be honest. The concept of ascending this mountain that slowly gets a little bit more chaotic as you go up is actually really cool, and genuinely I think this tower is pretty well made, and there's some pretty good attention to detail as well. I just don't understand why people don't like it. The whole idea is good, and the gameplay's good, and this tower's just generally a really good one to grind and a really good one to play. So I don't really see why people dislike it that much. This is a very well made steeple that perfectly embodies what I think Silent Abyss was going for, and also turns out to be one of the probably most peaceful experiences in Silent Abyss, because it's one of the only ones that's actually decently sight readable. I mean, there's a lot of stuff here where the steeple likes to hold your hand in a way, like it gives you a guide on where to go, and I like that kind of optimization. It should be more chill in the easy difficulties. And yeah, it creates a good first impression of Silent Abyss. I know it's not the first one that you probably are going to play, but still, it's a good one, and the design's really well done. And honestly, I think this steeple is solid. It's solid. This is such a charming tower in my opinion. It honestly amazes me just how far they're going now in terms of what's capable of the people who make Etoh towers these days. I mean, yeah, this tower's really well done. I think that it's got a certain kind of vibrancy to it that makes it really appealing to look at. It's a really fun tower to play through, and honestly, I think that a lot of the charm of this one comes from its unpredictable gameplay. While that can be somewhat inconvenient for some people, understandable, but you know, in my opinion, this tower's unpredictable and kind of like sporadic style of gameplay really kind of helps it, in my opinion, because it makes it kind of seem a little bit more like fast paced. And this tower's gameplay is done really well, so it's not a problem that it's a little bit hard to sight read at some points. I really enjoy this tower. I think it utilises a lot of different mechanics in quite a short amount of time, really. This tower's not actually that long, if we're being honest. There's, sure, a couple parts that are a bit unsight readable, but once you take the time to figure them out, they should be fine. And yeah, I think this tower's just a generally short and sweet experience, which is something that is quite rare to find nowadays. And also, it's a very vibrant tower. It's just appealing and, at the end of the day, just very inviting. So yeah, this one's a pretty good one in my book. This tower is honestly really well done. The whole like idea of climbing up the tower which slowly curves to the point where there's now nothing to catch you is just so ominous, and it's done really well. I'm honestly surprised that a tower like this with a theme like this wasn't done before, because it's a pretty simple theme, yet one that really creates a lot of interesting gameplay ideas and a lot of like good decoration ideas. This tower can be slightly over decorated, but that's not really a problem considering it's still pretty sight readable. At the end of the day, this is a really enjoyable tower which has some really good gameplay, and it's overall just an amazing concept. Yeah, think what you want. I actually really like this tower. It's, yeah, I admit, somewhat long, but I think the gameplay really makes up for this. Like, considering when it was made, there are so many really cool and creative ideas in this one. Like, the entire, like, paintball game on the, I believe, 6th floor. It's really cool. There's a lot of unique ideas in this one that are actually way ahead of their time, and this tower does a lot to be not only just really creative, but also really enjoyable at the same time. And I just think that there's a lot of stuff done here that is really underrated, and I think it perfectly uses a lot of its mechanics really well. Zany architecture. Now, I do want to say that some of the gameplay here can be a little bit questionable. Like, some jumps I feel are a little bit too awkward and potentially a little bit beyond what someone of this difficulty would be able to comprehend. However, that doesn't take away from the great experience this tower is. I mean, first off, what they do here with a lot of purist mechanics as well. It's not fully purist, but a lot of it is. A lot of what they do here is really creative. A lot of how they utilise certain mechanics is really good. Like, a lot of elements of this tower are really creative despite being pretty simplistic. And yeah, this tower is a short and sweet gem of Zone 5. This is just a really solid steeple. I mean, I think the gameplay is probably what sells me on this. The design is really good. I like the whole greenhouse theme. They did it quite well, and usually you would think that a theme like this would be a bit bland, but actually it's not with this steeple. They do a lot with it. And the purist stuff is also pretty good. Also goes hand in hand with the client objects as well. They both kind of service each other in a way. Like, they both kind of create a really well flowing form of gameplay. And yeah, it might not be the most creative in Garden of Etoh, but I find it still really enjoyable, and I still think that it's really good for beginners as well, considering the amount of client objects that it uses and how they use them. I really like this tower, but I will admit that you probably will enjoy it more if you are at SC skill level. It's pretty fun and it has some enjoyable gameplay, though there can be some inconsistencies. However, most of these are just little tiny things that once you practice them will be completely fine. It's a really enjoyable tower, which, you know, its faults are really minor, and the client objects are done really well, the purism stuff is also done really well, and yeah, it's just a well balanced and well created tower, which I don't get why people hate. They probably only hate it because it's, you know, long and there's a couple difficulty spikes, but personally I see past this and I think it's actually a pretty good experience. There's a lot to like about the Citadel. I think it's one that's really enjoyable, and while it may not have as much going for it as some other Citadels, I think that this one still maintains a lot of its respect because it's very enjoyable. Like on the outside sections, there's a lot of increased tension. That hole in the middle of the Citadel is also pretty good because it's like you frequently visit it and it always manages to create some pretty decent chills when you go out there. And there's just a lot to like about the Citadel. Like it's more classic, but it doesn't hesitate to use that in a more complex way, which I think is something that's quite respectable. And it always maintains its enjoyability throughout the entire thing, which is more than you can say for most Citadels. So this one, it gets a very good certified A in my book. We actually get to the first tower that is probably the first tower that you would play in the game. And honestly, I don't think there could be a better introduction to the game. Like, seriously, this is one of the best designed and best made towers that I could think to be like a 1.00 baseline easy. This is everything that the game needs. It introduces beginners to the most basic stuff of the game, like climbing ladders and stuff like that, and just basic things like wraparounds and things. It's a really good tower in terms of how it manages to introduce these. Like, it holds your hand, sure, but it also tries to get you to be independent. And there's just a lot of stuff in this tower that make it really well made, and honestly, I think it creates a great impression of the game. So, really well done here with the first tower the first tower you'd assume people would play. I still genuinely have zero clue what rough endoplasmic reticulum even is, but honestly, the tower though is really good. I really like the sciencey theme of this tower. It's something that's not really been done, and it's something that's just quite cool to see. The tower's gameplay also just looks and plays really well, probably because of this theme. The theme helps it, in my opinion, to really thrive. And also, I think a lot of the creative jumps are done really, really well, and they feel fun and refreshing to play through. This tower is perhaps one of the more creative SCs, and I think that it definitely performs that really well, and it doesn't end up becoming a weird, unsight-readable flop. While this tower can be just a tiny bit loop fadeable at some points, I think it is genuinely really, really well crafted, and it's made very well, and definitely one that you should give it a try if you're in Zone 7. I mean, everything just works in this tower, I think. Like, the purist gameplay's done well, the complex client object gameplay's done well. It's just a perfect balance between purist and client objects that I think definitely makes the tower flow well. I mean, yeah, it's just a blast to play, and you can't really complain about it. If you practice it, it's even more fun. It can be initially unsight readable, but once you get used to it, it becomes an incredible experience. Tower of Floral Fury. Now, I don't really know if this counts as ground to space. I mean, the main theme isn't really that. It's supposed to be like kind of like flowers and stuff, so I guess I'll just go with that. Anyway, this tower's theme is really good, and I really enjoy this tower. I know it's kind of classic, and it does show a few times, but honestly, I think the gameplay is pretty well done, and I actually really enjoy it. I think it's one of those short and sweet towers that are done quite quickly, but they feel like a good experience, and yeah, it's a perfect one to get going with doing if you know you just go into the intense difficulty, because it's quite a good skill booster in terms of like classic gameplay. the famous Tower of Deep Darkness. Now, this one is one that I really like. I mean, it doesn't start off too strong, but it gets really good as it goes on. It is so creative with its gameplay, and if you think about when it was released, it was so ahead of its time. And also, how it implements the tower crossings, they're really well done. It's amazing how they managed to use a lot of the other towers in Ring 2 pretty well with the dark theme. It's something that I didn't think that would be capable. And also, the theme is also really good. It's like, I like the whole sewage system thing. It's kind of random, but you know, it works. And yeah, this tower is just a really creative one that's very ahead of its time, and I really enjoy it. Honestly, this tower plays quite well. I don't really get the hate for it. I mean, sure, it is pretty cruel to the player sometimes. I mean, the outside sections can be rough, and sure, there are some loop failing sections. However, I feel like the mechanics and the gimmicks to this one are actually really good, and I think that they actually flow quite well, considering that this is a extreme tower, and you might not expect that. And yeah, I mean, it's not RNG. A lot of people say it is, and I don't think that's the case. I think it's just a few jumps are a bit awkward, and you need to learn them, and I think they're actually done quite creatively. So yeah, this tower's not bad, and I like the theme of it. Another good old classic. I mean, what's not to love about TOTS? I mean, yeah, sure, it might be a bit outdated now, but the gameplay is still really fun, and even though it's mostly purist, it actually makes up for this really well and creates some pretty decent jumps for what it is. And there's, of course, a large speedrunning community in this tower. There's a lot of skips, there's a lot of interesting shortcuts you can literally make in this tower, and yeah, it's a really fun one to play, and honestly, I think it helps you a lot in terms of improving your skill if it's your first Remorseless, because, you know, the short nature of it makes it more tolerable to grind, I think, in my opinion. And yeah, I just really like this tower. I mean, it may be personal bias because it was my first Remorseless, and probably a lot of people's first Remorseless, but I do think this tower is genuinely good, and it deserves the praise that it gets. This is genuinely an absolute blast to play. I really like this tower. I recently had the joy of beating it a couple months ago, and I can say without question that this is genuinely some of the best gameplay that I've seen in Lost River. It's not the best tower in Lost River, but it is definitely up there. I mean, the gameplay here is just really well done. I love the ending. It's really good. Like when you have to bounce up to the top of the tower with your heightened jump, and you have like a few second timer to do it. It creates tension. I mean, there's no chance you're going to fail it, but it creates tension anyway. And yeah, what else is there in this tower? There's also quite a lot of jumps that are really well structured, and yeah, the gameplay's just really good. I really enjoy this tower. It's not long either. I don't know why people say it's incredibly long. It's actually, if you know what you're doing, it doesn't really take that long. But yeah, but back to the point, this is a really good tower, and I like it. Genuinely, why did they feel the need to revamp this of all towers? This was a really good tower, and there was no need to revamp this. This gameplay was actually way ahead of its time, and I think it honestly stands with, maybe not towers of today, that's probably a bit far, but I reckon it would stand with maybe towers from perhaps 4 or 5 years ago. And it's really well made for its time, and the attention to detail is really good. And this tower was also just really enjoyable, in my opinion. I think it was probably one of the most fun towers in Ring 4 out there, and I don't get why they felt the need to change this tower, because it did not need it at all. They could have spent that time, maybe revamping getting gnomed instead, but, whatever, we'll revamp Leaning Ledges, because why not? Honestly, I love the story of this tower. Even if it can get a little bit dark at some points, I think it's really well done. And I think, although the ending can be a little bit weird, I still think that the whole aspect of working for some weird corrupt boss is pretty damn chilling, and especially with all the murdering stuff and all. I mean, as for the gameplay, it's more simple. It's on the simple side, but it's enjoyable, and I genuinely think that it's sometimes what you need in a tower like this. Like, the story kind of speaks for itself. So yeah, I like how the gameplay is simple, and yeah, this tower's a pretty well constructed one in my opinion. Staying in the Starlet archives, we get to Infiltrated Ruins. Now, honestly, I think this tower is actually really good. I mean, a lot of people do throw a bit of shade on this one for the story being repetitive and the gameplay being a little bit, well, also repetitive. And I don't really think that's the case. I think the story is actually pretty unique for what it is. I mean, yeah, we are doing another stealing, crime kind of story, but I think it kind of works in this sense because, like, it's a little bit of a different theme to other towers that have done this, and also it introduces a lot of weird mechanics that I think are actually quite enjoyable, and it's very immersive. I like this tower quite a bit for what it does. So yeah, I think that it's pretty good, and it doesn't really deserve a lot of the hate that it gets from some people. This is actually a really good steeple, and while it may not be a great finale to Silent Abyss, although I think Malignant Blight might be harder. I get confused between the two. But yeah, and as I was saying, it's an absolute blast to play through. There's really nothing that I can say that's that bad about it, to be honest. I mean, there are really fun puzzles and everything worked quite well. I think the gameplay generally works decently, it flows quite well, and it creates a good experience throughout, and I think this tower utilises the environments it's in really well. I think that they make a really immersive experience, and also I think that the final stretches can be a little bit unnecessary though, but these mostly don't really take away from the whole experience of the tower, and I still think it's really good. Honestly, I really love the gimmick in this tower. I think it's something that I'm surprised hasn't been done more times, and yeah, I think it actually works really well for some reason. And yeah, most of the gameplay is actually pretty much easier for a SC tower. The only really problem is the punishment, which probably pushes the tower up a little bit higher. But yeah, it's mostly really enjoyable. I think the tower's got some really good gameplay, even if it can be hard to master at some points. I think it's a really fun tower. I think that a lot of people like this one for good reason, because it is actually a really good one to do if you're getting into extreme towers. And yeah, I think this one's definitely one you should check out if you're in Ring 8, and honestly I think it's probably one of the more stronger towers in that ring, to be honest. Welcome to the top 100, and this tower is just generally a good and solid SC experience. I mean, the gameplay is really good. I like the whole vibrant design of it. It really looks quite nice actually, and yeah, this tower just plays really well, even though there are some difficulty spikes. I mean, some of the gameplay that is used here is actually pretty impressive, and I genuinely think that this is a really fun one to grind if you're willing to be patient with it. So yeah, I think this tower's a really decent one, and honestly quite an underrated insane in my opinion. Back when I made the easy ranked difficulty video, which was about, what's going to be 3.5 years at this point, I said this tower was the best in the game, the best easy tower in the game. And while I still think this tower is good, I don't think it's the best easy in the game anymore. Although that said, this one is still really fun. Like, for Zone 3, this is pretty good. They've got all sorts in here. They've got a wide variety of different client object usage, they've got a wide variety of gameplay. The tower looks visually appealing, and it's actually structured really well. There aren't any like weird things going on in this tower. It's a really solid one to play through, and genuinely it's just really fun despite being easy difficulty, and that's why it'll always be quite highly regarded by me. While I think that this tower is definitely a lot more fun when you come back to it and potentially rebeat it, because, you know, going in blind can be a bit of a struggle sometimes, I do think the gameplay in this tower is really well done, and it does purist gameplay so much better than Thinning Layers ever could, and genuinely I think this is some of the most engaging like forms of purism I've ever seen in basically any of the Etoverse. I think that's the best way to say it there. I mean, yeah, it's just really well done. Every wrap feels unique, and the whole tower has this sense of like weird, ominous, like foreboding in a way, and it genuinely feels really good. So, yeah, this tower is a really, really good tower, and genuinely, I like it. Okay, I did not realise that people hated this so much, and this might not be a popular opinion, but I actually really enjoyed the Citadel. I think it's actually pretty decent in my opinion. I think it's got some really unique mechanics in it, and I think it's got some really cool gameplay as well. I don't get why people hate it this badly. I mean, Jesus, like when I looked to see, you know, what people thought of this, I was astounded to see how much negative feedback this Citadel got. I mean, genuinely, it's weird. But anyway, back to how it's good. I mean, it's got quite a lot of different themes, a lot of different ideas, a lot of unique elements to it, and genuinely, yeah, it's really, really interesting, and I like this Citadel a lot. This tower is really, really well made, and honestly, I really enjoy it. It's got such a quirky feel to it, in my opinion, that a lot of towers just don't have. Like, I like the whole triangle kind of theme here, the whole geometrical stuff. It's like weird shapes and all that. It genuinely feels really cool, and it's something that's like a breath of fresh air from most other things. Like even in this realm, like it's a lot different than most towers out there, and that's what I like about it. It's got some unique gameplay, and it definitely has its own kind of style, which is pretty cool. And it's also I find this tower, to be honest, pretty sight readable. I don't know why people don't think it is, but maybe that's just personal luck or something, I don't know. But yeah, this tower's really good, and I enjoy it. For me, this tower has kind of like an early modern charm to it. I think it's actually a really well made tower for its time. I mean, there's just a lot of nice gameplay here, in my opinion. I think it's just really well done, really well structured, and genuinely there's some pretty creative ideas to go into this. And also it's got a pretty well thought out boss fight. Granted, it's a little bit hard to get through if you don't know what you're doing, but genuinely I do think that there was some honestly really big potential there, and it definitely strived to achieve something really good, and I think that it, for the most part, did achieve that. And yeah, the tower's designed well, and genuinely it looks really good, and I think it's probably one of the most underrated towers in the game. I was pleasantly surprised with how impressed I was with this steeple. Honestly, it's really good overall. I mean, it definitely fits with a lot with what the area was trying to go for in terms of like just kind of ominous designs and all that. And genuinely, I think in terms of design, it's actually done really well. I think it's decorated really well. I think it looks pretty good. I think this whole steeple just kind of gives you like a weird ominous vibe, and I quite like that. I also think that the gameplay's really good as well. I mean, it can be unreadable at some points, but you know, for the most part, it's actually really enjoyable, and I think a lot of the mechanics that went into the steeple are actually really interesting, and I think that it would be nice to see more of this kind of gameplay style in the future. And yeah, this is a really good steeple, which I think that honestly is a really good addition to Steel Spire Horizon. This is honestly a really good experience for an SC Insane. I mean, it's just really fun, and I think that personally it's actually pretty good at improving your skill, especially if you're struggling a bit with some more complex wraparounds and stuff like that. And also, I love the design, it's really good. I love the whole contrast between the blue and red floors. Well, not floors, but you know what I mean, the blue and red sides, that's what I was trying to say. And yeah, it's the button progress is good as well. It makes up for the loop failing nature of this tower, and I think that overall it's just a really enjoyable one that I think a lot of people should try if they're in Zone 5, or even if they've just beaten a couple SCs and they should go and try it. Give it a go. Give it a go. It's a good tower. I like this one. It's kind of sad that this steeple, the easiest and probably the first one you're going to do in Paradise Atoll, is genuinely one of the only saving graces of the subrealm. But, you know, let's celebrate the good things about it. I mean, it's a really good steeple, it's designed really well, it actually is one of the only ones in the subrealm that actually tries to implement the ocean theme, which is pretty cool, and, you know, I think it's really enjoyable. I think it's got some really good design, and I think it's got some really good gameplay as well. It's just a really solid and fun steeple that's enjoyable in my opinion as well. And that's the main part, it's actually enjoyable. A lot of the other steeples and towers in the subrealm are not enjoyable, and this steeple is. I enjoy it. It's really fun, it's got some really good gameplay, and yeah, it's up there with some of the better stuff in the game. This is just such a fun tower. They honestly did pretty much everything right with this one in terms of like replicating that classic feel, and it feels like something that would genuinely be made back in the day, and it feels like something that would probably be found in somewhere like, I don't know, Tower Dollar or something like that. But yeah, this is a really good one. I think it's got some pretty good classic gameplay, and it stays true to its theme, and it doesn't go out of its way to do weird stuff, and it doesn't go out of its way to also be kind of boring. It's really enjoyable. It stays engaging throughout, and the final stretch is a really good test of skill, and potentially, if it's your first challenging, a really good skill booster as well. So yeah, this tower's really good. I think it does its job really well, does exactly what it needs to do, and yeah, it's just a fun, solid tower. Tower of Wanting Extra Levels. Now, this one, there's just so much to unpack here. I mean, I think it's really good in my opinion, especially for its time and when it was created. There's just so much going on here, and I think that it's like a jam-packed like adventure of a bunch of different ideas. It's genuinely got a bit of everything in this one. Like, they've got weird mechanics, they've got weird like pushbox stuff, they've got literally anything you can ask for in this tower, and yeah, it can be a bit long, but I think it's worth it. My literal only complaint is that sides B and C are kind of nothing burgers compared to the rest of the tower, but honestly it's not a big deal because it's already kind of long enough. So yeah, it's a really good tower, I really enjoy it, I think it does so much for what it's capable of at this point in time, and yeah, I really enjoy this one. There's something so peaceful about this steeple for me. I think it's really enjoyable, I think the gameplay's really good, and I just think it's a nice chill time. Honestly, it feels like one of the good monthly towers that would be put in Paradise Atoll, to be fair. I mean, yeah, there's just a lot of good gameplay here, there's a lot of decent design, I like all the attention to detail, it's really good as well. Yeah, the steeple's just generally really solid, and honestly I think it deserves a lot more praise than it gets. I mean, it does get quite a bit of praise, to be honest, compared to the rest of Paradise Atoll. It gets quite a bit of love, but still I think that people should commend this a lot more, considering it did a lot more to be fun than many other things that are in Paradise Atoll. Tower of Overbearing Vertigo is a pretty good tower in my opinion. I think it's actually got some really good gameplay in my opinion. I think it's a very well structured, well themed tower, and it's very solid for what it is, and it fits perfectly into the entire theme of Zone 8 in my opinion. I think it's one of those towers that just goes with where it's placed, and I couldn't see it anywhere else, to be honest. And yeah, I just think that there's a lot of creativity I couldn't say that. Creativity in this tower, and I think that there's a lot of jumps here that are pretty well designed and pretty unique in my opinion, and yeah, this tower just does a lot to stand out, and I really enjoy it. This is just such a good classic tower in my opinion, or at least a tower that tries to be classic. There's just so much going on here that makes it really good. I mean, despite being pretty short and also pretty simple, it's got quite a lot of different mechanics and elements in it that make it kind of stand out a little bit more from just, you know, from towers that are just kind of there. And also, it's a great one to grind as well. It's really fun, it's really enjoyable. Like, if you're going to push towards Remorseless skill level, you should definitely give this one a try, because it's really good for your skill. It's got some pretty sketchy jumps as well that you might want to learn how to do, which are also pretty good. And yeah, this one's just well designed, very ominous, like kind of like theme to it, and yeah, I think it's just a really well done tower in my opinion. I feel like this tower is one that put, well, in Starlet Archives anyway, that put a lot of effort into actually being fairly enjoyable. Now, yeah, there are a few jumps that are a bit confusing, but I think for the most part this tower is actually really enjoyable and really well done. And the story's pretty good as well. I think it's a really well made tower, there's some great gameplay in it, and I just think that the theming's also pretty good as well. I mean, it's an all-round really well made tower, and I genuinely think that that is something that a lot of towers, even in this realm, struggle to do right. So yeah, this one's done really well and I appreciate it. This tower is just so well made, and it's got kind of a sense of a charming quirkiness to it. It kind of feels like a bit of an arcade game at some points. It's got some really weird gameplay, and but I think it actually works. It's not weird as in it's unplayable. It's weird as in it's very charmingly unique. And yeah, the mini games are also really cool. I like how they utilize a lot with glitches, flipping, and all that. And also, I love how they just manage to do so much with a load of client objects and a load of different mechanics. And this tower overall is just really, really well made, and I think it's a very charming experience in my opinion. While the method of unlocking this tower is anything but fun, the tower itself is incredibly enjoyable, and I also think it's got some really, really good gameplay. I think the vibrancy of this tower is really good as well. I like how all the neon lights and all the kind of, I don't know how you'd say it, like bright colours make it feel a lot more inviting, a lot more fun to play. I also think that it uses a lot of really good mechanics and very good elements that make it really enjoyable at that. I think this tower's a very good tower. I think it's made very well. I think it's structured really well. I think it flows well. The gameplay's good, and yeah, it's just a really good tower you should do, especially as potentially a first terrifying. The revamp of Tower of Rage is absolutely amazing. Honestly, I feel like they just took everything about the old Tower of Rage that was good, put it straight into this tower, and added about 50 new things to it that make it brilliant. Genuinely, this is just such an enjoyable tower now. I mean, there's so much here to like about it. There's some good gameplay, some really well flowing gameplay as well. It's designed really well. It's structured well. The tower feels good to play. It's also got just the right mix of punishment, but also leniency. And yeah, this tower's just a really, really well done classic tower, and I think it is an example to set to other towers or other revamps that are going to happen in the future. I think that this tower is a great example because it takes everything that was good about the old version and just expands upon it even more. So yeah, it's a great tower in my opinion. Quick disclaimer: the footage I filmed of this is absolutely embarrassing, but as for this tower itself, I think that it's really good. I think it's really enjoyable, and genuinely, I think it's designed really well as well. I like it's a bit like Fractured Memories with the vibrant colours make it feel a lot more lively and inviting, and the gameplay's really really well. It's done very well. I think that there's some really cool jumps in this one. It's really really cool, and yeah, it's very unique. It uses a lot of different mechanics, and it experiments with a bunch of different stuff, and genuinely it's very very innovative with what it uses as well. This tower's very well done. The gameplay structures well. It flows well, and yeah, this tower's just really really good in my opinion. Tower of Astral Fusion is genuinely one of the best experiences of Zone 6 in my opinion. And honestly, it's a great skill booster for most people who are at Remorseless skill level, and I should probably maybe give this one a go in the near future. But anyway, as I was saying, the gameplay in this one's really good. It's one of the probably the best Descention towers in the game, in my opinion personally. I think it's one of the best because it makes it so engaging, and it genuinely the gameplay is just so it's just so well made that you would enjoy it throughout the entire thing, and it implements a lot of different mechanics and a lot of different. It's also quite punishing at some points in the outside sections, but other than that, it's really lenient, and yeah, you should definitely give this one a go to improve your skill. Tower of 10 Floors Challenge is genuinely one of the most unique towers out there. I mean, for starters, it's the only one to have a ranking system, which I think is pretty cool. And yeah, the concept itself is just really, really engaging. I think it does a lot with what the concept is, and I think there's some really good gameplay, some really, really good design, and the tower itself plays extremely well. There's a great balance between punishment and leniency, which I think is also pretty nice, because it's nice to have towers that are balanced like that. And yeah, it deserves all the praise it gets, and I'm glad that it's in Still Spy Horizon, to be honest. Tower of Rhythm Heaven has genuinely some of the best usage of beat blocks that I have ever seen, to be honest. It just does it so well, way better than Beat Block Berserk does it, and Quantum Rhythm even in some spaces. And genuinely they do the best with quick time gameplay and stuff like that. It's one of the best towers in terms of like really getting used to like working under pressure. And yeah, I really like this one. It's got some really, really good gameplay. And it just plays really well. It flows well, it plays well. It's just a really, really enjoyable tower. And honestly, it's one of the highlights of Ashen Tower Works, in my opinion. Tower of Growing Madness is one of those towers that just has absolutely amazing gameplay. The design is also pretty cool, actually. I think it works really well. I like the contrasting colours. It just makes the tower seem a lot more. I don't know. It complements this tower's gameplay pretty well, in my opinion. But yeah, other than that, the tower's also really fun to play. The mechanics are really easy to learn, and it's just a genuinely fun tower with some pretty decent gameplay throughout that makes it really, really enjoyable. And genuinely, this tower is probably one of the highlights of Zone 7. In fact, I think it is. I think there's only 2 towers in Zone 7 that I've said are better than this. So yeah, it's genuinely one of the better ones in Zone 7, and I really enjoy it. It's got some great use of gameplay, great use of different mechanics here, and yeah, I really enjoy it. The Citadel of Increasing Claustrophobia is perhaps some of the best usage of more classic style gameplay, and I actually think it's really enjoyable. I mean, the Citadel has a pretty cool theme as well. Like, it's kind of like the theme of Thinning Layers a little bit, just with its own kind of spin on it. And yeah, obviously because it's in Zone 9, it's a lot more modern, and it appeals a lot more to the player, definitely. And yeah, it's just a really, really enjoyable Citadel. I think it's a great experience. I mean, yeah, sure, you might have to learn a few things about it before playing it, but other than that, I think it's actually really enjoyable, and genuinely, it's one that you should give a go if you're at the Remorseless skill level, because it can actually increase your skill in some way. I really like the story of this one. The fact that they turned being late for work into something so unique is really fun to me. And this tower itself has some really cool gameplay, and I think that it's got a really well written story. And yeah, I think it's just one of the better ones in the Starlet archives in terms of just how much of a good experience it is, like all round. Like, it's all round pretty good in terms of gameplay, design, story, everything you can think of. And yeah, and it's not even that long either. It doesn't feel that long, and it's just a generally fun thing to play, which is, in my opinion, one of its highlights. Tower of Furious Chicken Brawl is perhaps one of the craziest towers out there, to be honest. Well, at least in Zone 9, anyway. Like, genuinely, I don't know what made them come up with this idea, but it genuinely works. It feels like a really crazy experience, and honestly, in a good way, it's a really enjoyable one as well. There's a lot of usage of really crazy mechanics in this one, and some really unique gameplay ideas that make it stand out a lot from the other towers in Zone 9, and yeah, this tower, in my opinion, is just a really, really unique one. It's just a really creative, and that's what brings it up, in my opinion, because just the sheer wackiness of this tower is what gives it its own identity, and I quite like that. Say what you want about Crack Crush Cubes, genuinely I will always love it, because for some reason it's just got that welcoming vibe to it. I don't know what it is, it's just all the gameplay feels really chill and really fun to play, and honestly they've got quite a big variety of stuff to do here. I mean, they've got some really good gameplay in my opinion. They've got like puzzles, they've got, you know, weird kind of button progress and stuff like that. It's just a really good tower in my opinion, and yeah, I know some people don't like it, which is, you know, it's fair, because I can maybe see why, but I also just think this tower is just, in my opinion, I really like it. It's just really fun for me, and you know, it's a bit of nostalgia wise, because it's been my favorite. Well, it was my favorite tower back in like 5 years ago, so I suppose that might be why. But yeah. Although the only bad thing about it is that there is a soft lock if you fall to the bottom. At least I think there is. I can't see. I don't think there's a way you can get back up. So yeah, that kind of weighs it down a little bit. But other than that, I think it's still a really good tower. This tower is a much better tower than Swift and Precise Sections could ever be. It seemed like they focused on rectifying all the mistakes they made with that tower and just absolutely smashed it out of the park with this one. I mean, genuinely, the gameplay in this one is just so good. Like, and it's designed really well as well. They really put a lot of care into this one. I can tell they did much more than they did with Tosaps, and yeah, the gameplay is just really fun in this one. And it's also really unique as well. Like, it's got its own kind of style to it, and it's just a lot better optimized than Swift and Precise Sections could ever be. So yeah, this tower is honestly one of the best ways to turn around the concept that I've ever seen in EToH. Hats off to them for making one of the most tense things ever created in the entirety of EToH. I mean, genuinely, this Citadel always has you nervous every way you go in it. It's a really well made tower, Citadel, in terms of that, and also the gameplay is really good. It's really well made. It's really well adapted to you know, kind of fit with the quick time kind of feel to it, and yeah, the whole this being in a volcano thing is also a really creative idea, and it actually genuinely works because it feels like an erupting volcano because of the rising lava, and yeah, it's just a really good Citadel, and I think they did it incredibly well, and honestly, it's one of the things that makes Zone 1 memorable. I genuinely don't know why people don't like this one. Maybe they thought it was unnecessary, I don't know, but I think it's actually a really good addition to Ring 4, and I think it's really enjoyable. Honestly, it's probably one of the most enjoyable SCs out there, just because the gameplay's so simple, yet it's also pretty tough, and it's quite fun to grind as well. This tower is genuinely so fun to play. I don't know what it is about it that just makes it so enjoyable. I think it's because the gameplay's just like, it flows really well, in my opinion. And this tower as a whole is just really enjoyable because of that. And yeah, it's just got some really good gameplay and some really good ideas. And honestly, it's just one of the most fun out there to just give a full-on playthrough. So yeah, this one is a great one. And with that, I think we are finished with the A tier. I think we're moving on to the S tier now. This tower is, first off, well, you know, the first thing in the S tier, but also, if I had to say anything, it would be that it would win the creativity belt, because honestly, everything about this tower is just really creative. Not just the frame. I mean, the frame is really wacky. I like how it's designed. It looks really cool, but also the gameplay. It's just really unique gameplay, and I feel like it feels really enjoyable to play through, especially with how like wacky it is, but also how easy it is to learn as well at the same time. It's a really enjoyable tower as well as being creative, and I just think that it genuinely deserves S tier for this. This is a genuinely beautiful tower, and although it may be unsight readable, honestly I think that the fact that how well this tower's made kind of makes up for that. I mean, this is a genuinely amazing tower. Like, all the gameplay works pretty well. The jumps are actually designed really cool in my opinion. It's very well structured. The gameplay flows well as well. Honestly, this tower is just the definition of a very well made tower with a lot of effort and care to put into it. And Genuinely, I think that the experience actually projects that, in my opinion. And yeah, it's just a really fun SC tower, which has a lot of merit to it, and honestly, it's got so much good gameplay and so much good design that I feel like it's probably one of the towers with the most effort put into it. That's SC difficulty, in my opinion. Tower of Teehee time, and you know, this one is brilliant. Despite its length, it manages to be a really well done and engaging experience throughout the entire thing, and it's just really enjoyable in my opinion as well. It's a bit like Demonic Inspiration from, you know, that 1 month even a while ago. It even says that on the tower, but it manages to take a lot of stuff from that tower, the good ideas from that tower, and completely expand on them and create this, which is really good in my opinion. And yeah, it's just a really fun tower. It's got a really vibrant feel to it. All the gameplay feels fun and fair, as well as also being somewhat punishing as well. You know, it's got that balance to it, and yeah, I feel like this tower is a really enjoyable experience if you have the time for it, of course. The funniest number in the world is taken up by Tower of Dusk to Dawn, and honestly, what is not to love about Tower of Dusk to Dawn? I mean, it's like that one of those towers that are just genuinely beautiful. Again, a bit like Tower of Rain on My World. And yeah, it's got some really good gameplay, it's got some really good design. I love the whole day and night theme, it works really well with the gameplay of this tower, and yeah, it's just a really fun tower in my opinion. It's very engaging, it keeps players of all skills alike engaged, and yeah, it's just a really well done tower in my opinion. I think it's one that had a lot of care and effort put into it, and honestly, I'm quite pleased with this tower in my opinion. This is just such a fun and quirky and goofy tower. I mean, I still vividly remember beating this, and it was like over 3 years ago. Honestly, I mean, I was rubbish at the game, so I took a while to beat it, but once I did it, I felt so rewarded, and you know, I thought this is one of the best towers in the game. And while I still think, well, it's not the best in the game in my opinion now, obviously, but I still think it's really enjoyable. It's got such a good amount of gameplay choices, it's got such a good amount of design choices as well. It's got so many different mechanics and elements that make it really enjoyable, and they've got so many cool mini-games too, and yeah, just genuinely this is a really creative tower. They do so much with what they have here, and it's one of those that really uses the kit to its full potential, and for that, I think it deserves S tier, at least S tier. Tower of Bent Trauma, a very well made SC. I mean, the final stretch, it's cruel, but it's well done. I like it. I think it's one of the best final stretches out there. It's tough, but it's fair, in my opinion. And I love the whole misty atmosphere of this tower. It's very it makes a very lost and mysterious feeling, and I think it really works with the gameplay it has here. And yeah, they complement each other so well, designing gameplay in this tower. It flows really well, and it's very fun to grind out, and yeah, I think it's one of those experiences that you should really give a go if you're getting into SCs, because I feel like this is going to be a pretty good skill booster purely because of how it lets you deal with pressure with the outside sections, and yeah, it's just a really well made tower in my opinion. This tower still, in my opinion, holds up really well to this day, and honestly, I'm kind of surprised just how well it still plays. I mean, they managed to take some really easy gameplay and they managed to make it so much more fun than you'd think they'd be able to make it. I mean, seriously, this tower is really enjoyable for pretty much anyone. And yeah, the whole idea of it is that it's supposed to be like trying to introduce the beginner to more modern mechanics. For Zone 1, obviously with the release of Purgatorio, this is kind of not needed anymore, but still, I'm glad we still have it, because this tower is a kind of a mainstay, in my opinion, now, and Zone 1 wouldn't be what it is without it. So yeah, I love this tower. It's really fun, really creative, really chill. Just love it. A lot of people do love this tower, and honestly, I'm no exception. This is a really, really good one, and genuinely, it's probably one of the most fun SCs, and one of the best SCs for you, in my opinion, because it's probably most people's first extreme. So, to be fair, it's got a lot of lenient gameplay, and you can choose your own route as well, which is also pretty cool in my opinion. And yeah, it's just a really fun tower, and the gameplay is done really well, and it plays really well. The gameplay flows good as well, and yeah, this tower is just a really, really good one, and it's a great example for more extremes to come. And yeah, I really like this one. As Zone 3 falls, we get to Tower of Xanthophobia. It's honestly weird how we're near the top 60 and this is only the second area to completely fall. I don't know why that is. It must mean that most realms have at least one tower that's a golden one. But anyway, as we talk about Xanthophobia now, it's got some really good design, some really good gameplay, and it's very creative. And I really enjoy it because it's got that fun appeal to it, in my opinion, that makes it just really engaging and incredibly enjoyable. I mean, there's just so much here to unpack. There's some creative jumps, there's some that are quite ahead of their time actually, and it's a really enjoyable tower, and it's got like an ominous kind of theme to it. Like the higher you go, the darker the colour of the floor, and that makes it feel a lot more ominous in my opinion. And yeah, this tower's just really well done. I really appreciate it, and the best in Zone 3 clearly. This tower is very enjoyable, and it's really decently made as well. I love the whole kind of vibrant look to it. I love the whole like kind of, I don't know, it's got such a nice design to it. I can't really put my finger on why I like the design so much, but it looks really good. I like how cool it looks. This tower's very well designed, and also the gameplay's good. It feels fun to play. They implement a lot of different mechanics to make it engaging and enjoyable, and this tower, in my opinion, is a really good one to grind out if you are willing to take the time to do it. And yeah, even though it's not extreme anymore, it still is worth your time, and genuinely you should really check this one out. This tower has some absolutely incredible usage of design, in my opinion. Like, I really like how it starts off kind of like chill, the gameplay's fine and all that, and then as you go up, it slowly just gets more and more chaotic, and the tower becomes much more crazy as it goes on. And genuinely, I love towers like that slowly just like build up the tension, if you know what I mean. Like, this tower is one of the best to do that, and the gameplay is fun, and the mechanics are also really, really, really well done. And I think this tower as a whole is just a really polished experience. It feels fun to play through, the gameplay flows well, and yeah, I just believe that this tower is perhaps one of the most how do you say this, the most detailed, like, in terms of design, like, experiences out there. If there was one word to describe this tower, I think it would be creative. I mean, there is just so much going on in this one, and all of it seems to flow really well, and all of it seems to have its own unique thing going for it. Each jump feels like a new experience, and genuinely, it's some of the most creative stuff out there that I've ever seen. And yeah, it's just exceptionally enjoyable as well because of this. I mean, there's so much to do here, and you'll never be bored in this tower, even if it is quite long. And yeah, I just think at the end of the day, it's a really well-made experience with a lot to unpack here, and genuinely, it's really enjoyable. Tower of Verdant Entropy is a great example of a tower that, on the whole, keeps things pretty simple, but also manages to be an incredibly immersive experience because of just how creative it is, and how well the jumps are made. I mean, there's such good gameplay in this tower. It's really fun to go through, it's really good to grind, and I think it's a really good skill booster for you. And yeah, this tower's just an incredibly enjoyable experience because it's just got so much here, yet so little at the same time, and it does so much with such a little amount of things. It's like less is more in this tower, and that's something I admire about it. such an underrated steeple in my opinion. This has some of the best gameplay in Paradise Atoll. In fact, it is the best thing in Paradise Atoll, so it does have the best gameplay in Paradise Atoll. Yeah, Paradise Atoll does fall with this steeple, which is unfortunate for it, but at least it made it to S tier. And yeah, I think this steeple is just really enjoyable. It's got that like simplicity to it, but it still feels fun. Like, it doesn't need to be... It knows what it's doing. It doesn't need to be like hyper creative or hyper like designs to get what it needs to do across. It just does it. It's one of those steeples that has the gameplay and has all the resources and just doesn't focus too much on trying to look cool, just does what it needs to do, and that's what I like. It's a really enjoyable steeple with some pretty creative jumps, and that's what makes it really solid at the end of the day. I think this is one of those towers that is just structured really well. I mean, it's very good in terms of its gameplay. It's very balanced, it doesn't spike all that much, and there is a lot of button progress that keeps it fun and also entertaining, and it makes the grind a lot more bearable, because this tower does have some gameplay which is kind of on the harder end, and yeah, it can be kind of annoying to grind out sometimes. Obviously, you know, me being me, I can't really do many of the jumps in this tower, but I know what it's like because I have seen people that can, so, you know, don't invalid me. And yeah, the music's really good and it's designed really well. I think this tower's a pretty well crafted masterpiece in my opinion. Overall, a brilliant steeple, just chef's kiss. I mean, this is honestly some of the most care I've seen put into an easy steeple, like perhaps in the entire game. It's just so enjoyable. It's like a little mini tutorial for, you know, beginners. They don't really need it because of, you know, Purgatorio, like we said with Zero Disturbances, but still, it's just such an enjoyable, amazing experience. It's so chill, it's so fun. They've got a whole wide variety of different things to do here. They've got different puzzles, different mechanics, and it's just so well made, this steeple, and it's one that I play with a smile every time when I go into Garden of EToH. The brilliant cope. I honestly think the Citadel is absolutely amazing and sort of ahead of its time. I mean, you know, it is still pretty modern, but it's still pretty impressive for nowadays standards as well. And yeah, it's got some really, really good gameplay. It's got a cool kind of backstory to the character, and I think it's really enjoyable. I think the design's really good. It's just structured really well. The Citadel's just incredibly creative, and yeah, it's one of those that really define their realm in kind of like an entire experience. I mean, while the overall theme may not be that similar to Zone 8, it kind of just, it seems like a great final challenge to Zone 8, and that's kind of why I love the Citadel so much. I was actually surprised to see just how many people don't really like this tower that much. I mean, I always thought it was actually really cool and the gameplay was incredibly fun, and I love the design of it. It looks really cool, it plays well, and I think that there's some really cool and unique gimmicks in this tower, and the ideas it has are actually pretty interesting too. I mean, yeah, it's just a really fun tower for me, and I don't understand why people don't like it that much. I always found it quite enjoyable, and it had some really good potential to it, which it actually achieves very well in my opinion. This tower was made because it was designed to replace Tower of Getting Kinda Disappointed, and it's weird to think that I won't be ranking that, but anyway, I think this tower absolutely cooked in terms of being a replacement. I mean, this is absolutely wonderful for a classic tower. I mean, it completely fits the ambience of Ring 5, it fits immensely into the ring. I love how cool it feels, I like how simplistic the gameplay is, but also just how fun it is. It's such an enjoyable tower. I'm genuinely really impressed with how they managed to do this, and honestly, it's one of those that actually kind of breathe a bit more life into Ring 5, and it's just a really enjoyable and entertaining tower with some really decent classic gameplay that I've not seen in a while, and yeah, it's a really good tower. This is a really well-made Citadel, and I know that some people have had some kind of rough experiences with it, and yeah, that is kind of the case in terms of how punishing it is. I mean, yeah, it can get a little much, but once you learn it and you take the time to experience it and enjoy it, it becomes an incredibly good experience. I mean, it's actually shorter than most Zone 10 towers in a way, because, you know, if you know what you're doing, you can get this done pretty quickly. And yeah, I think this Citadel is really well made in terms of gameplay, very creative, very well designed. Obviously, it's a really good experience all round, and I think it's got a lot of good qualities and a huge variety of gameplay that make it, you know, that make the good outweigh the bad by absolute miles. And yeah, I love this Citadel. It's really well made, and honestly, I appreciate it for just how good of attention to detail it has. I do apologise in advance for the second-hand embarrassment that you may get while watching me struggling to get past the first jump. I will say that the tower itself, though, is actually pretty good, unlike me at the tower. It's an absolute blast. I mean, it's got some really creative jumps, and it's really nice to see just how many mechanics that they managed to experiment with here. I mean, it's genuinely impressive how much they managed to do with every new realm that comes out. It's great. But yeah, great design, great gameplay, exceptionally creative tower, and yeah, I'm just impressed with it. It's one of those towers that are just like really impressive in my opinion. And with just how perfectly they balance gameplay, creativity, design, and also enjoyment. This tower's just beyond what I would have expected from anything, to be honest. I mean, it's a different entire level of peak, in my opinion. And yeah, this tower is brilliant. I think it's got some revolutionary client objects. I mean, it's definitely got its own unique kind of style to it. I mean, genuinely, it's impressive what they managed to do here. It's a lot of the jumps here are genuinely mind blowing how they managed to do it, and yeah, it's a really good progression, and it's really nice. It's really good how you can recover from falling, because there is a lot of ways you can get back quickly, because there's button progress and everything, and yeah, it's a very doable tower. It's very interesting, and yeah, you should definitely try it out. Honestly, this is an incredibly well-made steeple, and I think the gameplay is just incredibly enjoyable, and I think that they do it really, really well. It can be difficult to sight read at some points, but I think that once you get the hang of it, all these jumps can become incredibly enjoyable, and they're just really fun to play through. And yeah, the story to this one's also really good. I like how weird and wacky it is. It goes out of its way to be as weird as possible, and I quite like that. And yeah, it's kind of a great final challenge for the Starlet archives, in my opinion, and it really kind of sums up the area in a really good and well-made and well-structured steeple with gameplay that flows incredibly well. Honestly, this tower is one that's always been one of my personal favourites. I just absolutely adore this tower. It's so flippin' fun to play. I really enjoy it. I mean, it's got so much, but there's so much variety in terms of gameplay, and it is long, but it doesn't feel like it's long. It feels genuinely engaging throughout the entire thing, which is, for its time, this is incredibly impressive. Like, this is a really, really well-made tower. They've got a bit of everything in it, let's be honest, and yeah, they just create a really good experience that feels really, really polished, surprisingly polished for its time, and it's one that I actually really, really look forward to playing when I eventually get to it in the easiest to hardest, because this is a tower that I've always personally loved so much, and yeah, I don't see how you can dislike this tower. It's so fun. When I first played through Purgatorio, I was pleasantly surprised. In fact, I was more than pleasantly surprised at how much I ended up liking this tower. I originally thought it was going to be really boring, and it completely turned that around, and I ended up really enjoying this. It's one of my favourites now. And yeah, the gameplay is just so enjoyable. Like you'd think that they wouldn't be able to do much with keys, and they end up doing quite a lot with it. They make it so creative in terms of what they do with it, like all the design, and that final stretch where you got to collect all those keys at the end is just chef's kiss. This tower is genuinely incredibly enjoyable, and it introduces a mechanic which is rarely used, but one that you'll wish was used more after this tower, because this tower shows you the potential that this kind of gimmick has, and yeah, this tower's just so enjoyable and so fun and so wacky. I love it. This steeple is honestly just hilarious. I mean, all of this over a pot of noodles. I mean, yeah, this steeple's really good. The gameplay's good, it flows well, it's designed well, it's structured well, and I feel like it's got some really good design. This steeple, I don't see many people talking about this one actually, which is kind of weird considering it's one of the most memorable in my opinion. And yeah, it's got a really good concept. Of course, the story is just hilarious. It's really goofy how all this happened over a pot of noodles, and yeah, it's one of those that you wonder what the hell actually happened, but at the end of it, you're like, well, it was a fun experience. And yeah, it's a really good steeple. I like it. I think it's a really good one. It's one of those towers that kind of gives, sensory overload, but it's incredibly creative, and I think the design is actually really, really fun to go through. I mean, yeah, the gimmicks it uses, they make them really interesting. This tower, does a lot to be unique, It doesn't really have to. It's a terrifying tower. It can be kind of what it wants to be, but it goes ahead and actually tries to be as engaging as it can be, and honestly, I really like that. It flows really well. The gameplay's enjoyable, it's a fun tower, it's got really good progression, and yeah, it's one of those that it's just a really enjoyable experience and also just an incredibly fun time as well, just because, of the design and gameplay being so well going hand in hand together, and yeah, it's a great tower. Sometimes it is with the more simple things that we take the most enjoyment in, and this is Steeple of Guiding Lights' advantage here, because it does what it needs to do and then it just sort of ends. I mean, that's basically that. The gameplay's fun. It's pretty good while it lasts, and yeah, it's got some good design, and I think it's one of those steeples that's just on the whole a really relaxing and fun experience, no matter how skilled you are. And yeah, I quite like it for what it is. I mean, it isn't much, but for what it is, it's a really solid experience, and I think that it's perhaps one that's frequently slept on in Silent Abyss. There are two words to describe this tower, and they are well made. Seriously, the gameplay in this one is just an absolute blast. It's so well done. I think that there's the way it's structured, the way that it flows is absolutely brilliant. This tower's so enjoyable. It's incredibly appealing as well. It's got some really nice vibe to it. It's relaxing, and that's what I like about it. It's got a sense of peace to it that other towers don't have, and it's just such a nicely done tower. It's well designed, gameplay flows well, structured well. It's on the whole an incredible experience, which is one that people often forget in Zone A, which is surprising considering it's like probably one of the best in the actual zone. Distorted aerodynamics, a great example of how something can be so ahead of its time while still being, true to its day. And this is an incredible example of that. This tower is incredibly enjoyable. I think that it's got some great gameplay. I think it's got some great design as well. I think that the floor colours contrast with each other really well. I think it's got some really good gameplay choices and ideas. And it's just an incredibly creative tower, in my opinion. And it's just so fun to play through. There's like all the jumps in this one feel really, really enjoyable and so unique as well. And at the end of the day, this tower is an absolute breath of fresh air, and I genuinely think it's one of the most enjoyable out there. Triple Jeopardy is honestly an incredible experience. I mean, I've had the pleasure of going back and rebeating this recently, and yeah, I absolutely love it still. It's a really good tower. It's very good for improving your skill in terms of trust flicks and beat blocks if you're just getting into Remorseless towers, because you know they implement a lot of this stuff, especially on like outside sections as well. And yeah, it's just pretty good to learn to do that stuff under pressure as well. And yeah, they've got some really good gameplay. It's a really fun tower, and it's one of the most uniquely designed towers out there, I think. Like, it's got a certain charm to it that I don't know how to describe, to be honest. It's one of those that kind of has like a really unique feel to it that I really enjoy. So yeah, I love this tower. It's very nice, very fun to play, and yeah, I recommend you do it if you're just getting into the Remorseless difficulty. Tower of No Strings Attached is perhaps so liked by me just because it gets straight to the point. Like, there's no filler, there's no like weird crap going on. It just genuinely does what it needs to do. And yeah, this tower's gameplay is really fun. It kind of teaches you about like zip lines, balloons, and all that stuff. And while you'd think that would be kind of boring, it's actually really entertaining. This tower's really, really well done, and it's designed well as well. I like the whole like street art stuff that goes on throughout the tower. That's pretty cool. And yeah, it's just a really unique and fun tower, which doesn't really get that much love. And honestly, I think it kind of deserves some more, because it's genuinely one of the best tutorials out there in terms of like what's in Purgatorio. And yeah, I genuinely love it for what it does. This is such a slept-on steeple, and honestly I just don't know why that's the case, because I think the design's really good and the gameplay's even better. I mean, well, yeah, it's just definitely not intense. It's challenging. I mean, absolutely. I still think it's an incredibly fun experience the whole time. I mean, they really go out of their way to make this like an incredibly immersive one. It's just so fun to play through, and you know, even though it is kind of long, it grips you the entire time. Like, you're always engaged, and the gameplay is so varied. There's so many different puzzles and different weird things to do, and yeah, it's just a really well-made and fun steeple with a lot of really good ideas. And yeah, it's one that I don't get why people sleep on so much. Despite this tower not really being the finale of, well, anything, it's if it was, it would be an incredible one. I mean, this is such an ominous tower in terms of its theme, and it's got really good gameplay. It's incredibly creative. The client objects are really well done. There's some really good ideas in this one, and yeah, it balances that with purism really well. I think this tower's an incredibly enjoyable experience. It was also very well made in terms of like it's easy to learn. Like, once you get into this tower, sure, you might be a bit confused, but like the further you go, like you'll understand it a lot more. And also, it's really good at creating the whole like ominous kind of tension theme. And yeah, it's a really, really good tower, and it definitely deserves all the praise it gets. I feel like this tower is, at least for me, like one of the towers that has the most effort put into it. And yeah, the atmosphere is absolutely amazing. I love the whole like kind of sunset vibe, but as it goes on, it becomes slowly a little bit more dangerous, a little bit more wacky. And yeah, it's one of those towers that has some really, really good gameplay put into it, and a lot of care as well. I mean, it's hard to make kind of gameplay because it's so rare to see, and this one does it incredibly well. And I think that it's got some incredible jumps, incredible creativity, and at the end of the day, it's one that's just that I think is should go down in the Hall of Fame in terms of EToH. It's kind of weird that the easiest thing that's in Steel Spire Horizon ends up being like one of the most fun things in Steel Spire Horizon. This is genuinely an incredibly creative steeple. I like the whole like kind of bubble thing. It's a cool gimmick. I quite like it. It's got some really creative gameplay. It's got a really vibrant kind of feel to it, and I love it. It's such a breath of fresh air, and it really makes like a great kind of like first impression when you go into a Steel Spire Horizon as to what it's going to be like. Because this is a great steeple. It's got really fun gameplay, really good jumps, like just generally just incredibly well made stuff here. And yeah, it's an easy steeple that really is caters to beginners, but also does some really interesting stuff and has some great ideas too. Steeple of Overgrown Ascension, the best example out there of short and sweet. This is an amazing steeple with some really good gameplay and just some really good and chill vibes in my opinion. The gameplay's done really well, it creates a really relaxing vibe to it, and there's some really good design out here as well. I like how simplistic yet also how well made it is. Like it's generally pretty straightforward, this steeple, yet there's also some pretty cool little details to it which I also like as well. And yeah, it's just one of those steeples that's incredibly solid and you can't really go wrong with this, and it's a really fun one to play. Another tower with like a really out there theme. Sugar Rush Deluxe is absolutely amazing in terms of its gameplay. It's got some really cool gimmicks and obviously a really interesting kind of theme to it. Like genuinely, I've never seen a tower about like sweets before. That's pretty cool, I suppose. Yeah, it's got some really good gameplay. It's really fun. The progression's really good. It's always enjoyable to play. There's nothing really too confusing about it. It's just generally an incredible experience, and it's very well made. It's honestly one of the most wacky towers out there in the game currently, and yeah, I love it for that. It's a really unique tower, which is definitely very memorable. That's to say the least. Citadel of Weird Nostalgia. Now, this is one of the best redemption arcs that I have seen in the entirety of EToH. This used to be an absolute terrible Citadel, and now, honestly, I know some people still don't like it, but I quite like this one. I think it's amazing. But yeah, it's now much better, and instead of trying to copy the floors outright and, you know, be kind of boring, they actually go out of their way to make floors that are themed around what the floors they're based off of would be like, and I think that's much better in my opinion. I think it's a lot more creative, a lot more fun, and just generally pretty interesting too. It's a really nice idea, and I think the gameplay's done really well, and it generally makes it for a really fun time. And they're also a lot more expansive of what they do now. There's more towers that they choose from, and yeah, it's just a really fun experience that is generally fun and interesting to play. So yeah, great Citadel. Slanted Anticipation. This is genuinely one of my favourites out there, and this is because it's just incredibly enjoyable and also really good when you consider when it was made, and also the fact that it was made in such a short time. I think I saw somewhere it was made in like 18 hours, I believe. I don't know if that's true or can't remember even where I got that from, but I remember someone saying that somewhere. But yeah, if that's the case, that's incredibly creative and also incredibly impressive actually. And yeah, this tower's done amazingly. It's really fun. It's really enjoyable. It's got a really nice vibe to it. It's nice and chill at the same time as well. It's just incredibly fun to play through, and that's why I like it so much. It's one that focuses more on the gameplay than on anything else, which is honestly, in this case, pretty fun. As you know, I think this tower already was perfect enough, but you know, This version is just an absolute classic masterpiece. I mean, this is seriously some of the most creative usage of more classic types of jump and gameplay that I have ever seen. It is so fun, and honestly, all the nice little details are just really cool. It stays very true to the original. It does a lot of stuff that is similar to how the original did it, but just makes it a lot more optimized, and it's just so much better to play through. And the original was an amazing experience in itself, so I mean, it didn't even need the revamp, but now that it's got one, I'll take this one any day. It's incredible, it's really fun to play through, incredibly enjoyable, and yeah, it's just an amazing version of Leaning Ledges that I think, while wasn't needed, much better than the first one, absolutely. So we finally get to Citadel of Laptop Splitting, and honestly, this is absolutely amazing for its time, and it still holds up to this day. It's a brilliant Citadel, a great first one if you haven't done one already, and it does so well at creating some gameplay that is straightforward but also immensely creative, and it literally goes ahead with loads and loads of different ideas. Like, it's got a backyard, basement floors, you literally fight a Prism of Obama if, you know, you do the secret ending, and yeah, there's just so much here to consider. Like, when you go back on this and look at it, like, you really get to admire just like how much was here for the time and how much was actually done, and genuinely it's impressive how this system was created. And yeah, I'll still always love this one. It's really fun, and it's great to go back to from time to time and just see if, like, how long it can take you to do it. It's kind of a speedrunnable one. It's not really, but people do like to speedrun this, and yeah, it's just a really enjoyable system. Great first one to do, and yeah, I love it. EToH. Now this one, it's kind of sad actually, because it kind of nowadays it is very prone to bugging out, but other than that though, if we look past that, you know, this is actually a really interesting tower. It's got some great gimmicks, and honestly you'd think that the gimmick would be a bit repetitive, and it's not. The whole spinning platform stuff is done really well and done very creatively, and honestly some of the gameplay that they do here is pretty impressive in my opinion. And yeah, honestly this tower's just amazing in my opinion. It's really good, it's really fun, creative, enjoyable, like all that fun stuff. And yeah, honestly it's just a blast to go back and play through this one, because yeah, it's genuinely enjoyable, and I think it deserves all the praise it gets. And yeah, good tower, love it. Now we really begin to get into the stuff that is absolute peak. Now the story to this one actually did manage to make me feel something. It's pretty heartwarming as we get towards the end of it, and yeah, it's basically about some guy who loses his memory and has to work to try and get it back, and yeah, it can create some pretty emotional moments. And yeah, it's the gameplay. As for the gameplay itself, it's pretty good. It's enjoyable, and yeah, the environments in this tower that are created and the way it's designed are also pretty interesting as well. They're nice to look at. It's a breath of fresh air in terms of like other stuff that could be kind of monotonous at some points. And yeah, this tower's really enjoyable, really fun, and a great story, and overall, because of that, an amazing experience. It's a really fun one, and I think it's done really well. Now, if I'm being honest, completely honest here, I do not really like this tower that much, but I have to kind of bite the bullet on my personal thoughts on this tower, because I believe that ranking it any lower than here would be doing it an absolute disservice, because it's incredibly creative, and you know, the only reason I don't really like it that much is because I think it's kind of unreadable and long. But honestly, I have to accept that this tower is an incredibly made one. I mean, the gameplay in this one is absolutely brilliant, first off, and second off, there is so much to this tower. There's boss fights, key collecting, all that stuff. There's so much done in this tower that make it an incredible experience, and you know, it's so creative. It's really well done, and I genuinely cannot say this tower is bad when it is not. It is brilliant. It's really, really well made. It just isn't for me. And yeah, this one's absolutely amazing, and you should definitely go and give it a go if you've got the time and patience to do it. And yeah, brilliant tower. The Tower of Foreign Domains. Now, this one is another one which, honestly, I'm surprised doesn't get more love, because it really should. It actually failed to get into Garden of Ejol on the in the contest, which is honestly surprising. This is so much better than most stuff there. But yeah, this is a really good tower. It's got some really good gameplay, really good theme. It's actually quite quick for what it is. I mean, it kind of gets what it needs to done, nothing else. And yeah, it's really kind of gets to the point. It's a great tower, great design, great kind of like whole gimmick to it. And yeah, it's amazing. It really belongs in Zone 6, and it works really well here. So yeah, I love it. My goodness, this tower is just so goddamn fun. Honestly, it is so enjoyable. Like, seriously, I absolutely loved every second of grinding this one out, and it is, even though it has a final outside which can be a massive run ender, I still think it's a really good use of tension, and I still think that the gameplay out there is still pretty lenient, in all honesty. This tower is absolutely amazing in terms of its gameplay. It's got a wide variety of different jumps to do. It's very creative. I think it's very enjoyable, a great like kind of looming sense of tension which gets higher as you go through the tower, and yeah, it's a great starter tower for Ring 9, and also a great one for people just getting into the Remorseless difficulty. And yeah, this is a really fun tower, and I love it. It's amazing. Honestly, this tower is an absolute masterpiece. I mean, Tower of Bonus Level is genuinely one of those towers that just brightens up the area it's in, and in this case it definitely does. I mean, honestly, the gameplay in this is absolutely wonderful, and honestly I'm quite surprised at how they managed to do a lot of this stuff. It's impressive, it really is. This tower's very well made, so much thought and care went into it, and there's so much effort put into it. It's the whole style and gimmick of like kind of being like an arcadey, like kind of mini game kind of gimmick to it. It's absolutely amazing to play through. It is brilliant. Like, all of these mini games that they have in this tower are so fun and so creative, and they genuinely push the limits of what's capable with the kit. And it's just a tower which absolutely 100% creativity maxes, and I love it. So yeah, for that, it's up here in S tier, and honestly, it's just brilliant. Tosat. Now, I first went into this one with a feeling of somewhat skepticism, because I thought that the kind of vine gimmick was going to be a bit annoying, but actually I was pleasantly surprised. This tower ended up being an amazing experience, and one of the most creative, I think. Actually, they had an entire helicopter ride in this tower, which is honestly just insanely cool. I love how how weird and wacky the towers are getting in EToH nowadays. I mean, when it's done right, it's done absolutely amazingly, and we get towers like this masterpiece, which are brilliant. I mean, the gameplay's fun. There's a genuine feeling of like, you genuinely feel immersed in the environment, and yeah, it's just a really, really good tower in my opinion. So yeah, absolute solid 9.5 out of 10. Not too long ago, I was on one of my alt accounts, and I gave this tower a go, and I got to floor 8, which was actually not that bad for me. And honestly, while I was playing, I thought just how amazingly creative all of this gameplay was, and just how brilliant this tower played. I mean, even though I was failing a lot, I was still enjoying this tower. It was absolutely amazingly fun to play through. I mean, some of the gameplay here is really, really creative, and what they do here is really impressive in my opinion. They managed to take a gimmick which is not often used because of how like uncontrollable it is, and they managed to make a lot of really good gameplay ideas out of it, and I'm very impressed with this tower. It's one of those that needs to be given a go, and everyone should give this one a try. A good idea for a first SC actually, and yeah, really good tower. It's amazing. Getting to this tower, I actually remember vividly ranking this #1 difficult in the game, and I'm not sure whether that's still the case. It might still be the case. I'm not actually sure what if there are any difficulties after this one. But anyway, yeah, this tower is absolutely amazing. I mean, I think that the gameplay in this one is so well done, and it's so wacky and so cool at the same time. They do so much with all of the different mechanics here. Like, they implement glitches really well, and I think it's genuinely got some of the most entertaining jumps out there and some of the most crazy ones. And yeah, the whole idea of the rock climbing is also a pretty fun gimmick as well. It's just a tower which is, on the whole, an incredibly vibrant and wacky experience, and one that is absolutely memorable, and one that's, yeah, just brilliant. An absolutely amazing tower in terms of its theme, and also in terms of how good of a skill booster it is. Tower of Wackiness is an absolutely brilliant experience from front to back, and genuinely captivates that feeling of like Japanese city really well. I think it's a really, really cool concept, and a tower that's done absolutely amazingly in terms of like how it executes this as well. And yeah, it's got some really, really good gameplay. I think it's really enjoyable from start to finish. I like how lenient it is with the safety nets, but also with some quite punishing gameplay as well. You know, it's quite learny, and you will need to practice this a little bit. But once you do, it's such a fun tower to play through, and it's really, really enjoyable. And yeah, it's just a great one to do if you're looking for intensives out there. And I think I did cover this one on a video about like intensives to do, and yeah, the reason why is because of how good of a skill booster it is. I mean, it's amazing. It's an amazing tower. Feudal Foliage is a certified hood classic. This is a brilliant steeple. I absolutely love all the different kind of themes they put into this. The whole medieval town idea is such a good one, and honestly, it just works. I mean, I don't know why it works so well, it just does. The gameplay's really enjoyable, it's styled really well, the whole gimmick's really cool, like everything in this steeple is just done amazingly. It's really, really good. I mean, all of the design as well, the weird attention to detail, and just like all the stuff that they do here is absolutely brilliant. And yeah, this steeple is so fun to play, and I honestly don't know why it doesn't get more respect. It is a brilliant steeple, and genuinely I will always like this one for what it does and how out there it is in terms of like just how different and unique it is. Pure chroma is something that is absolutely, well, for most of the part, very simplistic, but absolutely amazing at the same time. I genuinely adore this tower for just how fun it is. Like, it doesn't need to be anything ridiculously creative, doesn't need to be anything ridiculously, like, over the top. It's just incredibly fun with the gameplay it has, and it's just so enjoyable, in my opinion. There's so many different things they utilise in this tower that make it very, very fun to play. And yeah, like, I don't think I have any other ways to describe this tower besides just pure enjoyment and fun. I mean, the whole like idea of like most of the jumps being like, well, the whole tower being like literally like a shade of white, and then they just put like one colour on the top of the jumps. I mean, it's a goofy concept, and yeah, it doesn't add anything, but it is still very appealing to look at, in my opinion. This tower has always been one that I've loved, and I always will love it. It's an amazing tower, and you know, I don't think you can tell me otherwise. Okay, so now we get to the Steeple of Buoyant Automations. I believe this is the last steeple that appears on my list here. And yeah, I feel like this is an amazing experience of a steeple. It's the only thing in Garden of Etoh that actually tries to go fully in on the futuristic theme. So it's kind of like a breath of fresh air compared to everything else in Garden of Etoh. And yeah, the whole design of it, it's mostly simplistic, but just incredibly fun. I mean, it's a great skill booster for people who are getting into intense difficulty. It's a good steeple in terms of that, and yeah, the gameplay's really enjoyable. It's got some really creative points in it sometimes. It's really fun to play. There's nothing too complex to it, and it's just generally a fun time. and that's one of the reasons why it's so high, because it just gets into what it wants to do, and it's just a fun steeple. You lot might be thinking this is very high up the list, and yeah, it is very high up the list, and I honestly think that is justified. I love this tower. It's got such a nice feel of how classic gameplay is supposed to be. It's exactly how you make a classic tower in the modern day and age, well, semi-modern day and age. And yeah, it's so enjoyable. It's got so much to it, despite being so short and simple. It's got like literally a dropper, it's got like weird crazy outsides, it's got multiple choice routes and all that. It does so much with what's there, while also remembering that less is more in terms of classic towers, and that's exactly why this one is done so well. It perfectly captivates exactly what Forgotten Ridge wanted out of these towers, and it does so well at that, and it's so enjoyable, and it's just amazing fun to play. Great tower. Tower of Eye Candy, well, I mean, it's definitely true to its name. It's so creative, this tower, and genuinely it's amazing. The whole like kind of gimmick, like especially what I want to point out with the flipped movement, that's really cool. I mean, it can be hard to learn, but it is really cool, and genuinely it's quite interesting to see that and the stuff they make out of that. This whole tower is really creative. It's got some great ideas going on here, and genuinely it's one of the most enjoyable towers in terms of just like how immersive it is. And yeah, it's really fun. I think it definitely deserves a lot of the love that it gets. I've had to say hate them for a second. And yeah, it's a great tower. I love it. I think it's really fun to grind, really fun to play, and overall just a brilliant experience all round. Tower of Nerves of Steel, an amazing tower which, for Steel Spire Horizon's kind of theme, it fits really well. It's an amazing intense experience, and honestly it does absolutely everything to not only make the tension, but also make it also a fun experience at the same time. It's a really fun tower, and it's got some really good gameplay, and honestly it is themed so well. It's quite lenient with you, but also at the same time quite harsh with you. Like, it's one of those towers where, you know, it's fair, but it's also going to be pretty punishing if, you know, if you slip up. Because, you know, they've been so fair to you in terms of the gameplay. There's nothing stupid going on, really, that much. Yeah, this tower's really well done. I absolutely love it for what it is, and it's genuinely one of the best ones out there at the moment, in my opinion. And one of the towers that I really thought, wow, they put so much effort into this. And that's a lot more than many other towers in this game. So yeah, amazing tower, this one. We finally get into the S plus tier. This is the brilliant. This is like the Premier League of EToH towers. And first we start off in this tier with Citadel of Twists and Weirdness. Now, you've got to remember, this came out in well, it didn't come out in 2020, but it was made in 2020. This is an amazing Citadel for what it is. It's absolutely brilliant. It's got literally pretty much anything you can think of. It's even got a mega fun Obby reference in it. It's got so much here. There's so much to do, so many cool ideas. It's a brilliant Citadel, and it just genuinely does gameplay so well. It does loads of different types of gameplay so well. It's just a really interesting Citadel, a really well made one, and especially considering how little how little that people did at the time. It's absolutely breathtaking what these people were capable of, and this is an amazing Citadel, a great one, really good. Tower of 1, 2, 3, 4. A great example of the most out there tower I've ever seen. It is so unique and it's so enjoyable. And honestly, it creates some of the most strangest gameplay, but some of the most enjoyable gameplay that I've ever seen. This tower is genuinely super enjoyable, and it is actually a great skill booster as well. And it's just so fun. I mean, they have done everything right in this one. They do it so well. Like, everything they try to do, every gimmick that they go for here, it just lands. They nail it. And this tower is genuinely, it will go down as one of the most creative ones out there. And yeah, a brilliant tower which deserves all the love that it rightfully gets. And yeah, brilliant. Even when I first played this and didn't know anything about it, I knew already that this was going to be an absolutely amazing experience. This tower is one of the most fun in the entire game, and obviously being number 10, that is a heavily accurate statement. I mean, all of the stuff here is just so brilliant, like a basketball game, and that whole flying mechanic, which is also pretty well done. It's kind of like a double jump, but it's kind of not. It's a bit like a, best thing to compare it to is probably Yoshi's flutter jump. But yeah, it's a really cool mechanic. I love the gimmick. It works really well, and so much good gameplay is made out of it. The design is absolutely phenomenal. There's like city, there's like sky castle, there's like some weird like illuminated nightlife city thing. It's really cool. This tower is absolutely amazing, and genuinely it deserves to be up here. Kind of similar to Tower of Oblivion, I don't particularly enjoy the Citadel too much, although I have to admit, and even more so in this case, that it is absolutely brilliant, this Citadel. It's got so much to it, and literally, it is one of the best examples of something that was worth the wait. There is so much to do here. It's absolutely brilliant. There's all sorts, there's like paint pool challenges, there's bloody tower crossings, like, you name it, it's there. Like, everything you could think of is in this tower, and for that, it's just brilliant. I mean, they do literally anything they can with the gameplay, and everything they can, and because of this Citadel is one of the most memorable and one of the most heavily sought after towers in the game, and genuinely, it deserves all the praise it gets. Even if I don't particularly like it that much, I have to admit, it's amazing. I can't dock it any points. This Citadel felt kind of like the last goodbye to the whole kind of classic theme of towers. I mean, it's absolutely amazing in terms of what it does with classic gameplay, and genuinely I like the fact that it feels chill, even though it's really not, like, because it's so simplistic. It's got a lot more of an inviting kind of like atmosphere to it. I don't know how to describe that, but yeah, that's what I think anyway. That might not be what other people think, but I think it's kind of inviting. But yeah, it's kind of just like one of those Citadels that just employs absolutely every single mechanic you can think of, just to make good gameplay, and I love it for that. It's so creative. It's a brilliant Citadel. It does everything it can do, and yeah, it's just genuinely a great experience, and kind of like I think, in my opinion, the last thing in the game created that was truly classic, in my opinion. And yeah, it's kind of sad actually. But yeah, great Citadel, amazing Citadel, brilliant. I will never forget when I first played this on stream, and just how much I enjoyed it, even though I wasn't that good at it. And when I eventually beat it, I felt so rewarded. This is an amazing, brilliant Citadel, and it's just got such good gameplay, a great design, and it's such a step up from the original, and the original wasn't even that bad either. This is an amazing, great, I said amazing too many times, I need to think of another adjective, but yeah, this Citadel is absolutely awesome. There's so much to do here. They've got so much, like, in terms of like skill boosters as well, like trust flicks and bloody wraparounds, you name it, it's here. It's such a good Citadel, and people don't give this one enough recognition, in my opinion. I think it's got some great designs. It's really goofy as well. It's got different kind of like themes to it. Like, if you go to like the different pipes or whatever you call them, there's like weird stuff, like even like a casino in one of them. Like, this Citadel is absolutely amazing, and genuinely I think that it deserves a lot more love than it gets, because this is one of the Citadels that I beat, and it truly improved my skill. a brilliantly creative tower that I just absolutely fell in love with the first time I played it, and I still hold it in a really high regard today because all of this is just so creative. There's so much to do here, and the gameplay is really well made. I mean, it's forgiving and it's lenient with you, but it's not exactly free. Like the finale can severely like damage your run if you're not good at it, and yeah, that is another thing that I think is good about this tower. It's like it's fair. Like it's not annoying, but it's not free either. And I like towers like that. And I think the gameplay in this one was really fun to play through. There were so many really unique ideas, and it's just genuinely one of those towers that I think you should give a go no matter what skill level you are, because this could easily be your first Remorseless, and yeah, it would be worth it. This is a really fun and an immensely creative tower that it has a very immersive theme. I love this tower. It's one of the best beginner ones out there, and obviously the best in Ring Zero by far. I mean, it's kind of like it's supposed to teach things like, you know, beat blocks and like kind of like fast-paced action stuff like that. But it more or less is kind of like a culmination of everything you've learned throughout like all the other towers, and that's kind of why I like it. It's supposed to teach kind of one thing, but it acts like more of a final challenge after everything you've done. And also, I really like how it teaches nerve control for the beginners. It's really good. They've got a good final stretch, a decent outside as well. It's fair, but it's also quite punishing. And yeah, I think it's good for beginners to learn that. And absolutely, I'd say this tower is immensely fun. There's so much to do here. There's honestly there's might seem like there's a lot going on, but there isn't, in my opinion. I think it's just one of those towers that is really enjoyable, and I really like it. This tower, honestly, it feels like an entire game in itself. Like, it's that creative. It's kind of based off like the There Is No game, which is a quite a famous game that people have played on the internet before. And yeah, this tower is based on that, and it's got a lot of similar qualities to that in terms of just like when you figure something out, it's really rewarding, and it's genuinely so creative to play through. Like it honestly, it amazes me how they did this. Like, this tower is just so brilliant. It's like it's the first in the game to contain voice acting, and it still holds up to this day. It genuinely does. It's one of those towers that just will never not be creative, in my opinion. Like, no matter what comes out, this one will still be immensely enjoyable and just generally brilliant, in my opinion. And yeah, it's one that once you know what you're doing, can be a brilliant experience. It's even got two endings as well, so that says it all. This tower's got so much effort put into it, and it completely deserves to be this high on the list. This tower, I know some people have a lot of experiences with lag on this one, but come on, you cannot physically put this any lower than this. I mean, this tower is genuinely brilliant. The story is absolutely insane. It's like an entire feature film in one tower. It is so brilliant in terms of all of the creative usage of gameplay, all of the creative usage of like design. The story is, like I said, absolutely wacky and amazing. This tower is so well made, and it clearly shows that both the creators put absolute care into this one, and it really shows that in all of this tower that's the case. And yeah, it's just got really unique characters, really unique story, and yeah, it's a really good tower. I can't stress enough how good this one is. Tower of Perilous Antipode. Now, no matter how old this tower gets, I think it will be in the top 10 for at least probably the next decade. I mean, this tower is so fun, and I love the transition it makes from a garden theme to futuristic theme. That's really cool as well. They do it so smoothly too. The gameplay's phenomenal, and this tower itself is just the entirety of it is just immensely enjoyable, and it's got a really immersive theme too. Like the attention to detail in this one is absolutely insane. Like the fact, and also considering like this is kind of old now. It's like 4 years old now, so the fact that they were doing this at this point in time, it just goes to show so much about this tower and how well it's made. And yeah, it is a brilliant, amazing tower, and genuinely I can't put into words just how much that this one means to me, because I mean I enjoyed this one a lot. It was one of my first intensives, and yeah, it's just a tower which I think deserves all the praise it gets, and will continue to get loads of praise, rightfully so. We have done it. We have reached the #1 tower, and Tenebrous Depths definitely deserves it. I don't know if that's how you say Tenebrous, I don't know how you say that, but yeah, the point is, this tower, I will always believe this is #1, at least for a while, until something better might come out later on, but this one is absolutely insane. The boss fight is immensely cool. The whole of this tower is just so well designed. The gameplay is brilliant. It's phenomenal. Like genuinely, I just don't see any flaw to this tower. It's got such good gameplay, such good design. It's really fun to play through, and I just can't see any reason why you would hate this one. It's got like some of the most effort put into it. Like I think the only towers that can really rival that in terms of effort is probably Umbrella the User. But still, I think that this one is just more accessible than that, and it's a lot more enjoyable in terms of like, you know, it's just shorter, and you know, you can get it done quicker. And yeah, this tower, absolute cinema, genuinely. Like attention to detail on point, and yeah, the boss fight just makes up for it as well. Like the helicopter ride, once you finish this tower, genuine chef's kiss. All I have to do is say a massive, massive thank you to everyone who has been following this list as I've gone on to make it. I genuinely did not think, even when I first started making this, even when the first video came out, for crying out loud, that I would actually get this finished. It's a massive weight off my shoulders to finally have this video done. Like honestly, the last month has been taken up by this video and all the work that I've done on it, and genuinely I cannot thank you enough for tuning in, supporting this video, because it has been a fun ride, and yeah, I believe I now am finally the first person ever to make a video with every tower in the game ranked. I know I technically did it in 3 videos, but I believe still I'm the first person to do it, so yeah, I have that to my name. And while we're here, while we're on the subject, please like, please subscribe. It would be an honour to have that. And also, if you want to support me even further, you can become a member of the channel. It's not that much. If you want to really show the support, you can do that. And yeah, this video has been an absolute wild ride. It's been hard. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It has been hard. I have been very demotivated at some points to make this video, and genuinely I'm proud of myself that I have managed to actually lock in and get it done. And genuinely, all I can say is a massive thank you. So I appreciate everyone who has come here and shown their support today. But yeah, what you can expect from now on, videos will get back to normal schedule. I'll be making different videos, and finally I can rest. I will be resting for a bit. So yeah, see you guys soon. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.